The text message arrived at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday night. A veteran golf insider, someone who has broken some of the biggest stories in the sport over the past decade, sent a single sentence to a handful of trusted journalists. "I have something big on Phil. Call me." Within minutes, phones were ringing across the country. Within hours, the story was taking shape. Within a day, the golf world was in a state of absolute chaos. Phil Mickelson, the six-time major champion, the face of Live Golf, the most controversial figure in the sport, is at the center of something that no one saw coming. The insider's information is still being verified. The sources are still being protected. The full picture is still emerging. But what has been confirmed is enough to make the entire golf industry gasp. This is not about a return to the PGA Tour. This is not about retirement. This is not about another controversial comment. This is something bigger, something stranger, something that could change the way everyone thinks about one of the most fascinating athletes of all time. Golf has exploded, and Phil Mickelson is, once again, at the center of the storm. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The insider who dropped the bombshell about Phil Mickelson is not an anonymous Twitter account or a clickbait website. He is a respected journalist with decades of experience covering professional golf. He has broken stories about Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and the LIV PGA War. His sources are deep. His track record is solid. When he says he has something big, the golf world listens. And this time, he has delivered. The story, as it has emerged over the past 48 hours, is still fragmentary. But the core facts are these. Phil Mickelson has been quietly engaged in discussions with a group of investors about a project that has nothing to do with playing golf. The project is not a business venture in the traditional sense. It is not a new league, a new equipment company, or a new media enterprise. It is something far more personal. According to the insider, Mickelson has been exploring the possibility of purchasing a significant ownership stake in a professional sports franchise. Not a golf franchise, but a franchise in one of America's major sports leagues. The details are murky. The insider would not name the league or the team, citing ongoing negotiations. But sources have confirmed that Mickelson has met with representatives of at least two franchises in the past 6 months. The meetings were held in secret, at private residences and nondescript hotels. Attendees included lawyers, accountants, and investment bankers. The sums being discussed are massive, in the hundreds of millions of dollars. If true, this would be a stunning development. Phil Mickelson has always been interested in business. He has made investments in real estate, technology, and media. But purchasing a professional sports franchise is a different level entirely. It would make him one of the most powerful figures in American sports. It would give him a platform far beyond golf. It would change the way he is perceived by fans, by sponsors, by history. The reaction to the news has been explosive. Social media is flooded with theories. Some fans are thrilled at the prospect of Mickelson becoming a team owner. Others are horrified. Many are simply confused. Why would a 55-year-old golfer who has spent his entire life on the course suddenly want to own a basketball or football team? The answer, according to those close to Mickelson, is surprisingly simple. He is bored. Phil has done everything there is to do in golf, a source close to him told Golfix. He has won majors. He has made a fortune. He has played in Ryder Cups. He has been the center of controversy. He is looking for a new challenge. He wants to prove that he can succeed in a different arena. He wants to build something that will outlast him. That source would not confirm which team or which league Mickelson is targeting. But they did say that the discussions are serious and that an announcement could come sooner than anyone expects. The golf world is now on edge. If Mickelson becomes a professional sports owner, it will be the most unexpected move of his career. And for a man who has built a career on unexpected moves, that is saying something. The rumor that Phil Mickelson is exploring the purchase of a professional sports franchise has sent shockwaves through the golf world. But it has also raised a host of questions. Which league? Which team? How much money is involved? And most importantly, is this even possible? Let us examine the facts. First, the money. Phil Mickelson is wealthy, but he is not a billionaire. His net worth is estimated at around $300 million. That is an enormous sum of money. Beauty's nominato by a majority stake in most major professional sports franchises. The average NBA team is worth over 300 million. That is an enormous sum of money. Beauty's nominato by a majority stake in most major professional sports franchises. The average NBA team is worth over 2 billion. The average NFL team is worth over 4 billion. The average MLB team is worth over 4 billion. The average MLB team is worth over 1.5 billion. Even a minority stake in a team would require hundreds of millions of dollars. Mickelson would need partners. That is where the investor group comes in. The insider's report suggests that Mickelson is not acting alone. He is part of a consortium of wealthy individuals who are pooling their resources to make a bid. Mickelson's role would be as the face of the group, the celebrity investor who brings attention and credibility. His financial contribution would be significant but not necessarily majority. He would be a partner, not a sole owner. Second, the league. Which sport is Mickelson targeting? The insider would not say, but sources have pointed to the NBA as the most likely candidate. Basketball has a global appeal that matches Mickelson's brand. The NBA has also been welcoming to celebrity investors. Many famous actors, musicians, and athletes have purchased stakes in NBA teams. Mickelson would fit right in. The NFL is less likely. The league has strict rules about ownership, and it has historically been resistant to celebrity investors. The MLB is possible but less glamorous. The NHL is a long shot. The most intriguing possibility is a soccer team. Soccer is the world's most popular sport, and Mickelson has expressed interest in the game in the past. A minority stake in a Premier League team would be a massive statement, but it would also be logistically complicated. Third, the timing. Why now? Mickelson is 55 years old. He is still playing competitive golf, but his career is winding down. He has often said that he wants to stay involved in sports after he stops playing. Owning a team would allow him to do that. It would also give him something to focus on beyond his own performance. He has struggled with motivation in recent years. A new challenge could reignite his competitive fire. The golf world is divided on whether this is a good idea. Some see it as a natural evolution. Phil Mickelson has always been a businessman. He has always been interested in the intersection of sports and commerce. Owning a team is the ultimate expression of that interest. Others see it as a distraction. They worry that Mickelson will lose focus on his game. They worry that his legacy as a golfer will be overshadowed by his role as an owner. The reaction to the news that Phil Mickelson may be pursuing ownership of a professional sports franchise has been swift and intense. The golf world is divided, as it always is when Mickelson is involved. Some fans are excited, others are skeptical. A few are already sharpening their criticism. Let us examine the different reactions. The fans have been the most vocal. Social. Media is flooded with opinions. Many fans are thrilled at the prospect of Mickelson becoming a team owner. Phil is a legend, one fan wrote. Whatever he does next, I'll support him. Other fans are more cautious. I love Phil, but owning a team is a huge responsibility, another fan wrote. I hope he knows what he's getting into. A few fans are outright critical. Phil should focus on golf, one fan wrote. He's still a great player. Why would he want to be a suit? The players have been more circumspect. Most have refused to comment, citing a lack of information. But a few have spoken. Rory McIlroy, who has had a complicated relationship with Mickelson, said, Phil is a smart guy. He's made a lot of good decisions in his life. I'm sure whatever he's planning, he's thought it through. That was diplomatic. Bryson DeChambeau, who has become friendly with Mickelson through LIV Golf, was more enthusiastic. Phil is a legend, on and off the course, DeChambeau said. If he wants to own a team, I'm sure he'll be great at it. The media has been in overdrive. Every golf outlet has assigned multiple reporters to the story. Every podcast has dedicated episodes to analyzing the rumor. Every television show has booked guests to speculate. The attention is unprecedented for a story that has not yet been confirmed. But that is the power of Phil Mickelson. He generates interest even when he is not doing anything. A rumor about him is more newsworthy than a tournament win by most other players. The business world is also paying attention. Mickelson's sponsors have reportedly reached out to his representatives for clarification. They need to know if their investment is safe. If Mickelson becomes a team owner, his time and attention will be divided. He may play less golf. He may be less available for promotional appearances. Sponsors want stability. Mickelson is anything but stable. Live Golf, which employs Mickelson, has declined to comment. But sources inside the league say that executives are nervous. Mickelson is the face of Live. If he becomes distracted by a new venture, the league could suffer. Live is already struggling to gain traction. Losing Mickelson's focus could be a death blow. The most interesting reaction came from an anonymous source inside the PGA Tour. If Phil becomes an owner in another sport, good for him, the source said. But it won't change how we feel about him. He left us for money. He can own 100 teams. That won't repair the damage. That bitterness is still raw. 4 years after the LIV defection, the wounds have not healed. To understand why Phil Mickelson would want to own a professional sports franchise, you have to understand his personality. Phil Mickelson has never been content to simply play golf. He has always been restless. He has always been curious. He has always been looking for the next challenge. That restlessness has led him to do some amazing things. It has also led him to do some baffling things. But it has never led him to be boring. Consider his career. He turned professional in 1992. Within a few years, he was one of the best players in the world. But he was not satisfied with just being good. He wanted to be great. He spent years chasing a major championship, coming close again and again. When he finally won the Masters in 2004, he could have relaxed. He did not. He kept pushing. He kept grinding. He kept winning. Consider his business ventures. He has invested in restaurants, real estate, and technology startups. Some have succeeded. Some have failed. But he has never stopped trying. He has never been afraid to take a risk. He has never been afraid to look foolish. That willingness to take risks is what makes him fascinating. It is also what makes him dangerous. Owning a professional sports franchise would be the ultimate risk. It would require hundreds of millions of dollars. It would require countless hours of attention. It would require dealing with egos, politics, and regulations. It would be a full-time job on top of his already full-time job as a golfer. But Phil Mickelson has never been afraid of hard work. He has never been afraid of a challenge. The question is whether he has the temperament for ownership. Golf is an individual sport. Mickelson has never had to manage a team. He has never had to hire and fire coaches. He has never had to negotiate contracts with agents. He has never had to deal with a salary cap. These are all skills that are very different from hitting a golf ball. Some athletes make the transition seamlessly. Michael Jordan became a successful owner. Others struggle. Wayne Gretzky was a disaster as a coach. Mickelson's supporters point to his intelligence. He is not just a golfer. He is a student of the game. He understands strategy. He understands psychology. He understands what it takes to win. These skills could translate to ownership. His critics point to his impulsiveness. He has made bad bets. He has said things he regrets. He has burned bridges. These tendencies could be disastrous in the boardroom. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Phil Mickelson is not a genius. He is not a fool. He is a talented, ambitious, flawed human being. He will make mistakes. He will also have successes. Owning a team would be the latest chapter in a life full of chapters. It would not define him. It would simply add to his already complicated legacy. So where does Phil Mickelson go from here? The insider's bombshell has dropped. The golf world has exploded. The speculation is out of control. But the truth is that no one knows for sure what Mickelson is planning. The rumors may be true. They may be false. They may be partially true. The only certainty is that Phil Mickelson is once again at the center of the golf world's attention. Let us examine 3 possible outcomes. Outcome 1. The rumor is true. Mickelson is indeed part of an investor group seeking to purchase a professional sports franchise. The negotiations are successful. An announcement is made within the next few months. Mickelson becomes a team owner while continuing to play golf. The golf world adjusts. Some fans celebrate, others grumble. But life goes on. Outcome 2. The rumor is false. The insider was misinformed. Mickelson has no interest in owning a team. The story was a mistake. The golf world moves on. But the damage is done. Every time Mickelson speaks in the future, people will wonder if he is hinting at ownership. The rumor will never fully die. Outcome 3. The rumor is partially true. Mickelson has had conversations about ownership, but the discussions are in early stages. They may fall through. They may take years to resolve. The golf world is left in a state of uncertainty. Everyone waits for an announcement that may never come. Which outcome is most likely? According to sources close to Mickelson, outcome 3 is the most plausible. Phil has talked to people, the source said. He has explored the idea, but nothing is imminent. He is not close to buying a team. He may never buy a team. The story got ahead of itself. That statement is meant to lower expectations, but it does not deny the core of the rumor. Mickelson is interested. He is exploring. He is keeping his options open. That, perhaps, is the real story. Phil Mickelson, at 55 years old, is still curious. He is still ambitious. He is still looking for the next challenge. He may never buy a team. He may buy a team next week. He may do something else entirely. But he will not stop. He will never stop. That is who he is. That is why the golf world is so fascinated by him. That is why a single rumor can cause an explosion. Phil Mickelson is not just a golfer. He is a force of nature. And the golf world will be watching whatever he does next. For more coverage in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.